I'll show you exactly what you need to do. Then I warmed up the car. You got to put on your seatbelt next. Out here it's cold. So it's not yet, but it's supposed to be parking spot. Starting the car getting ready to go to work. So luckily I'm early, so I can get what I need, take you through the journey. You want to come up to the bottom of the street, and you want to come up and stop. I have to make a left, so I got to move forward. I'm showing the car, and I'm going to wait. And luckily, this car is warmed up pretty good. Still waiting, looking, and this might take 30 seconds, 25 seconds, just looking, checking, and luckily the rush has not started yet, and then you can go out really easily. It was a good thing I had put fuel in last night, so I don't have to get out in the cold. But you have to plan. If you're a beginning driver, you need to try to put the fuel in when you get after school during the day. But if not, a lot of people wait. You got to get out in the cold. You got to start your car. You're going to be late to school, so you want to plan ahead. And I have to yield to traffic. That is here, and there's a long line. So here's an open space. This is what slows you down, waiting in line like this. But this is what millions of Americans and people around the world do. They wake up, they start the car, they get food, or they pack their breakfast, and they keep it moving. In the wintertime, you want to make sure you have adequate air pressure in your tires, because if your tires are low, you're not going to have the adequate traction that you need. Our battery voltage is 14.5. Oil filter life is about 30%, so we're going to need an oil change soon. Looking at the air pressure, it is not that bad. I want to talk about that a moment with you guys. The the air pressure, 29 in the left rear, 29 in the right rear, which is fine. It will go up 3 pounds, 30 in the front, left front, and 31 in the right front. So that's a pretty good sign there. Talk about driving in the cold. It is 28 degrees out.
Welcome back.
Okay,
Good morning. I need 2 number 2s, large. One is a Sprite, no ice, and the other one is a French vanilla iced coffee.
What size?
Large. How you doing?
Doing good, how are you?
Good.
All right, give me 1650.
Thank you. Courtesy is so important in the morning, being nice to people, and I really want to advocate that whenever I train you and show you, because this starts your day, being courteous, being nice to people. And I'm in the car freezing for you guys to show you what you need to do. By living in North America, the area I live in, we have 4 seasons. So you're going to have that summer where you get into that hot car, and then next thing you know, you're driving. Here, now the temperatures have changed, and you just have to be prepared to get out here early, ahead of time, and just plan ahead. And that's the good thing about driving. If you can plan ahead and get up early enough, you can get dressed properly, get all your materials ready to go into the lab. You can stop and get gas if you need to. You can get your breakfast, and then you can be on the expressway to a downtown area, out to a suburban area. It just takes planning, and it took me a few years to understand that, where you got to get things ready at night before, because you could run into traffic jams, you can run into accidents. Heaven forbid your car breaks down. But you have to allow for these things. And some people don't really want the hassle of a vehicle. They'd rather rely on someone else. I want to rely on myself. I learned that through my family. I learned that through going through high school, having some really good teachers, having a good driving instructor, having good parents who really stress being empathetic, being loving to people, helping them, and then good things will happen. Yes, I had that old junky car that wouldn't start all the time, didn't have heat, but those days made me who I am today. Get the best car you can afford, prepare for difficult days, make sure you have good tires on your vehicle, good battery, your proper insurance, registration, and then if you drive safely, your car will last a long time. Hey, what's up? How you doing? Good. Yep. I know, right? All set. Thank you. So that's what it's about. Just connecting with people in relationships, and also learning how to drive, helping people, because when you help, it comes back to you in so many different ways, in terms of a job opportunity, car opportunity to move up in a company. So when you drive, you can get there, and your boss watches you, your management team watches you. If you come early, if you come late, I tend to get to work early, and that's good, so I can set up everything I need, and then we start immediately. So preparation is so important. If you're a young driver, you're just probably waking up. Yes, it is snowing. We do have flurries. If this is bringing you value, give it a thumbs up. But all of these things help make you mature, help make you an adult. Okay, driving a car does not make you an adult. Making yourself an adult is taking care of your personal responsibility, going to school, getting a job, helping your family. And then as you continue to develop in your maturation process of being mature, adults will start treating you like an adult. And that's the goal you want. That's what I wanted when I was in my late teens, early 20s. I wanted to be recognized and treated like an adult. And all of us do. How you drive, how early or late you come. Good morning. How are you? Good. See, she called me hun. But it's just being caring. Thank you. And being courteous. So I gotta watch myself. I see a car backing up, and people get excited when they get food. So you come up to the edge, and I'm just gonna wait. I could pull out in front of this truck, but I'm not gonna do that. So I'm just waiting. You can hear these cars and vehicles. So I'm just waiting till this car goes by, and then I'm gonna go into the nearest lane. And the other time, I have a podcast out, Driving with Myles, on the side note. It talks about driving at night. Now, it's 7:05 Eastern Standard Time in the morning, and it's still dark. So this is still considered dark. So you got to know how to drive in these type of conditions. What do you need to do? And whenever you're turning, you want to get over to your destination. I had my blinker about 100 feet. I came in a little fast, so I want to slow down, because you could have black ice, and you can see the beautiful horizon in the back. Really beautiful. So I'm staying in the middle right. This car has high output headlights, so you can see pretty good. Older cars have dimmer headlights, so you want a vehicle in 2015, 2017 and up. But if your parents give you a 2009 or 5 or 4, you want to be humble and thankful and take that. Okay, be humble and thankful. Okay, I have to check the air pressure on the tires. You want to make sure the pressure is good. Now, as time goes on, you're going to have a lot of people who are going to start getting on the interstate. So I'm staying to the right side, allowing them to come by. They should be getting over. And they did. We got to share the road. I want you to see that. And it's still dark, but you can slowly see the light. Coming to the end of the block. Signal 100 feet or half a block. I'm going to come up and stop. I'm going to make a left. This is an outside view today, so you get a chance to see the environment. Kids are waiting. Parents are out, so you got to be careful because it's really hard to see people, pedestrians. And I talked about the driving environment. So that's black ice right there. See that real slick stuff? That's black ice. And if I go too fast, I'll spin. See the tire spinning, so the traction control is just activated. So that was the teachable moment where you have to be aware. And then I signal. Squeeze. If you go too fast, you're going to overturn and spin out. We discussed that yesterday. So the car is warm. When I come up, have a nice stop. So I'm mentally preparing. You know, what if the car has a flat tire? Well, I might have to get out and change it. It would be terrible, but you gotta know how to do those things. Get over one lane to the left. And the good thing is, usually the heavy volume of traffic is really bad. But as you can tell, we don't have a lot of traffic. So that's another clue that you need to drive early. This is a protected left turn. This arrow is blinking yellow, so I move forward. I saw something about explaining, so I'm gonna come up. This is a protected left turn, so I'm gonna wait for traffic to go by, and then I'm gonna make a 90-degree turn, and I'll try to explain everything. And then I turn really easily. You can see the signs here that will help you. Thank you for the thumbs up. So you have these signs. They're called chevron alignment signs. They tell you it's a sharp curve to the right. So I'm at about 35 miles an hour. I don't want to roll the car over. It's very cold and all this traffic. So if I go too slow, I get cut off. If I go too fast, I spin out. Then I hit the gas and then I merge up. You can hear the sound of the motor. So that was a pretty good merge. If you did that on your test, that will be passing. Then I'm going to get over one lane to the left. See how deliberate I am? So the speed is about 65. I primarily drive in the middle lane. That's the smoothest and safest. If I was in a hurry to the lab or anything else, now I'm squeezing my brakes. And I'm trying to keep space. I call it for, and I say this when I train someone, have good speed, which the speed is good. I have good space, and I have a smile. I'm smiling because I left early. I'll be going to go pick up a client, and then we'll be driving in this environment. And this is a good morning/night drive or low light drive. I'm gonna get over one more lane to the left. And it's about 4 blinks. If I can get you to make lane changes like this, you will pass your test. So in a left turn or merging, you want to get in just before the light. You do not want to drive down the middle of the street. I lifted my foot, 3, 4, about 4 blinks. That's where that space comes in. And I'm looking ahead, 5, 10 cars. I see everyone moving. So this is a pretty good drive, but I'm not letting my guard down because you have to be defensive. That truck carrying material, don't want to be behind them. It could come out. I'm trying to keep the car straight by looking ahead. That car in front of me, they're on the phone or they're doing something else because they're drifting to the left. And a lot of you will do that because you're looking down at the lines. I see a lot of people getting over. I'm wondering what's going on. And I'm looking ahead, 20 to 50 cars. I see cars moving, but in the horizon, I see a lot of brake lights. I'm wondering if there's some debris on the road. What I'm saying should give you clues to help you become better. And if you're not understanding what I'm saying, then I'm not explaining it effectively enough, and I need to do a better job of that. That's the feedback that I get. So our speed is really good. We're holding it nice and straight. I'm not tailgating anyone aggressively driving, but now I squeeze my brake. That car in front of us has a high mount brake light. In the States, they pass laws to allow automotive manufacturers to make high mount brake lights to increase visibility. So that's good. I'm squeezing my brakes. I don't want to slam because I'm losing my space right now. We're at 40. We were at 70. So we lost 30 miles an hour in that seconds. So the flow of the traffic will dictate how you drive, what you do. In all parts of the world, there are very busy times in the morning, and we're starting to get some light. This is a very busy drive to downtown Chicago, downtown Detroit, Houston, Texas. That's why it pays to get up early. Even 10 minutes can make a difference. Imagine driving in this 20 minutes from now. It would be even more congested. You can see the cars to the right. A lot of brake lights because people are merging off. If you were with me, I would not have you in that lane because that would confuse you and overwhelm you. However, there's responsibilities being in this lane too. By it moving faster, you've got to be more alert. You have to react sooner. You have to anticipate faster. Going into a really long curve. A lot of beginners would literally stare at the wall to the left. I'm looking ahead at the car, trying to hold my wheel as steady as possible. And so far it's working pretty good. If you were driving with me, I would tell you stay smooth, don't jerk the wheel. This is why headlights are so important, because you can illuminate. I'm looking around the curve, traffic is still moving, and that's a good sign that I see brake lights. So I need to brake earlier. We're at 70, now we're down to 40 miles an hour. So you can see how the flow, say it's at 70, then it drops to 40. So this leads us to our next discussion point. Do you want to continue driving on this type of environment? A lot of people don't like driving on expressway. Very congested, people are very aggressive, they tailgate you, they cut you off. In this lane, they're going to force you to go much faster or get to the lane in the middle. It is a lot of stop and go because of the environmental elements. Remember, I talked about analyzing your environment. And if you are 18 to 22, 23, you're going to college, community college, senior or junior in high school. So you're going to be driving in this environment. If I had a flat tire, I would try to get over all the way to the right. I really do not want to be in this left lane. It's very narrow. And this is the highway transportation system. We all have a personal responsibility to maintain a vehicle, to have the financial payment just in case, that is insurance. I feel very alert because I had good rest. You need to rest, and we discussed that yesterday. If you're staying up 3, 4, 5 in the morning, only having 3 hours, you won't be able to respond to this type of environment, and literally you'll rear end someone. So you can look at the flow. We're pretty steady in all three lanes. We're at 50. The speed limit is 70, 70. This is a pretty smooth, relaxing drive, I would say. 12, 17, 18, 20 minutes from now, this same drive, you would have twice the number of volume of cars. You would have people riding more brake lights. You can look at the environment, and that's what I want. Look at how many brake lights are on as opposed to how many lights are off. This is on, that's off. On again. And I'm lifting my foot, keeping good following distance. I tend to increase following because I'm teaching you how to drive, adults and teens how to drive. So I want to model that behavior to teach you to keep space. The most common type of collision is a rear-end collision. You need to remember that. It's going to be on your knowledge test. And the closer we get through to downtown Chicago, downtown Detroit, downtown Houston, you're going to have bigger volumes of traffic. Real smooth again. Time is pretty good. When you get on the expressway, you're driving in traffic, time sometimes goes really slow or goes really fast. So if you were running late, you would keep looking at the clock. If you were early, you wouldn't have to deal with all this volume. I'm in the middle of that. So you're going to see less brake lights. When we're talking about brake lights, analyzing their environment. Brake light is on, you squeeze, using the ball of your foot is off. There's a switch that is on the top of your brake lever, and when you push your brake, the switch extends, and that closes the circuit and thereby turning on the lights. When you take your foot off the brake, it opens it and the lights go off. Stay away from semi-trucks. There are 4 blind spots, left side, right side, front and back. So if you look at most cars, we're pretty smooth. Most people are keeping more following distance, and that's what you want. Because as these volumes come up, Illinois, Wisconsin, see that car rushing in to the right? Putting instant pressure on all of us. That alerts me, alerts them, and it throws off your focus because you focused on that car. I did for a second, and you would too. We're at 40 miles an hour, the speed limit is 70, but due to the congestion and the volume of traffic, you're gonna have to reduce speed, be slower, be smoother. And this is a really good video illustrating that to you. To leave earlier, to warm up your car, and to take your time. Keeping more space, which is nice. And what I try to do, and it might be different for you, you have to find your level of comfort, your safe zone. S-A-F-E, zone, Z-O-N-E. I try to stay consistent and not be an erratic lane changer. You have to decide your driving style because you're not going to save minutes or even seconds, because you'll have to cut over, check your mirror, check your blind spot. So I try to stay in one lane that's working for me. Working for me means the speed is safe, we're moving pretty good, and it's been consistent. We are at about 65, and I'm fine with that. If you were late, you would be cutting lanes, looking for an open gap, and that's where accidents happen. You miss a car, you cut off someone, you road rage, you tailgate, and then a traffic flow slows down and you have to hit the brakes really hard. So you see drivers who have really nice fast cars, and they're always burning up the brakes, burning up the tires, because they're going 80, 90, and the flow here is 70. And if you're going 80 or 90, which it won't allow, you're going to have to cut two cars, cut in, and that creates danger, and it adds fuel to the fire. So that switch is on, now it's off. Thank you for the thumbs up, it means a lot. I'm trying to really illustrate a good job. So we're by this semi truck. A lot of you would just stare at this truck. You want to get in and out of this blind spot as soon as possible. So I would tell you, let's accelerate. Let's not hang around this truck. And we're out. I don't want to cut over to the right. I need to get over to the right within about 3 miles, but I don't want to cut over behind that truck, because I don't want to die. And I would tell you that because we want to respect what truck drivers are doing. Speed is really nice, and you're making consistent time. And I need to start thinking about getting over soon. If I wait too long, I'm going to have to really kind of squeeze my vehicle in, but I'm looking for an open spot. This is an open spot. I'm turning on my blinker and see how I slid over into that spot. You want to fit your car in. It's a lane change, but is it a short, sharp lane change, or is it a smooth lane change? You saw how that car just zipped past me. They were tailgating me, and you can see the difference in lanes. The lane to the left, same lane, but a little bit faster. And now all those cars are tailgating. The switch is on. This car ahead of me, the switch is off. No brake lights. That car to the right is tailgating. You can see what I'm explaining to you right now. The middle lane, they just got cut off. That would trigger someone. So they're running late, or they're cutting off. You, as a beginning driver, might do that. Hey, I cut off 5 cars. You didn't really gain anything. You increased your level of danger. There's something called getting closer to the line. If you speed, you're getting closer to the line. The line is death. I am not near the line at all. You can see cars cutting in front. They're closer to the line. That is closer to the line. I am keeping my space. I just increased my following distance. I feel safer. That car is merging on. I'm in the middle. I feel safer. That's what I need you to see. That's what I need you to understand. Stay smooth, stay deliberate, and now the flow is normal again. See how smooth it is? And it doesn't make sense to drive 5, 10, 12 over, because you're going to have to cut off 4 or 5 cars, angering people and putting us all in danger. And now it's very calm again. Need to get over one more lane, and I want you to understand this driving environment. You have to. Now I'm in a slower lane, and you'll be able to see those subtle differences. I'm at about 50. Lifting my foot. This is the exit ramp on the expressway. It's called this is the limited access lane, a ramp. There's a ramp you take on, There's a ramp you take off. So the expressways are created like that. You have to be careful of pedestrians. I see one there walking, and I think there's one there. Yep, there's one there to my left. This is a crossover. So I'm going over the bridge, and yes, you could go off and fall in. And then I have a regulatory sign. I can only turn left, so I come up and stop. And I'm waiting. I'm looking at the cars to my right. You should be able to see that. And that vehicle does not have on the blinker, so how am I supposed to know what they're doing? That vehicle has on the blinker. So I'm waiting for a gap. And they're waiting. And then here's my gap. If you understand gaps, you will be able to be a safe driver. If you don't understand gaps and hesitate, you're going to confuse and anger other drivers. We have more signs. Warning. Another warning of a school zone. You see it. And then we have a regulatory, which is stop, S-T-O-P. So I had to come up and stop for 3 seconds. 1001, 1002, 1003. And then our next warning sign, I want to show you this. This is a school zone crossing. You see the crosswalk. So people miss that on the test. I have to go in this private drive, blinkers on, and it's a really sharp turn to the right. Let's review. I want to review with you. You saw me prepare the vehicle, turn on the heat. You saw me get a scraper. I'm trying to maneuver the vehicle to get into the lane properly. You saw me prepare the vehicle, get a scraper, turn the car on. You saw me go to the end of a neighborhood and check traffic. You have to be able to do that. You saw me merge properly on the expressway, explaining what a protected left turn is, how to properly merge. Then when I was in that driving environment, I showed you consistent speed control. As a beginner or someone who's been driving a long time, on a scale of 1 to 10 in terms of stress, this drive was about a 4. It wasn't a 5, it wasn't a 7, because I left early. I was in the middle lane primarily. You saw brake lights being on, meaning they push the brake, the switch extends, it closes the circuit, the brake lights come on. When you take your foot off the brake, the switch opens and then the lights are off. You can analyze traffic by brake lights. The longer we wait to get to a destination, downtown Chicago, Detroit, you're going to have more volume of traffic. You have to decide to leave earlier. Get gasoline, clean your windows, maybe get some food, come to work early, come to the lab early. You have a chance to relax. Your employer, your teachers, your coach, you're here early. Thank you. And you can have a good day. The longer you wait, you're going to have more traffic, more volume to deal with. And that's going to increase your odds of getting closer to the line. The line is death, D-E-A-T-H. Because the faster you drive, the closer you get to the line. The more you tailgate, the closer you get to the line. If you're running late and everyone is at 70 and you're at 75 or 80, you have to tailgate, cut off cars. You're getting closer to the line. I showed you today that I don't want you or me to get closer to the line. You do this by leaving earlier, not being an erratic lane changer, staying smooth. You saw the traffic go from 70 to 50, then 50 to 40. So the driving environment changes all the time. And when you're driving, I want you to refer back to me. I want you to look at my content. And I want you to really listen to those podcasts. I have a Driving with Myles podcast. It's linked. And it's going to give you insight into driving, how you keep your space. And I said it was about a 4 in terms of stress and anxiety out of a 10. As a beginning driver, you want to get there quick. I got to get here quick. If I get there quick, I can have a coffee. I can chill with my friend. It's not worth it. I'm here at the lab, relaxed. Very few people are here. I can do what I need, prepare for my day. That's a good day. I want all of you to have a good day. You have questions, you leave comments, you listen to that podcast. I have 3 episodes. I'll be making more. I want to say thank you and be safe out there. Bye.